Hey everyone, the name is Erik, and in today's video I want to talk about risk taking. I want to ask you, do you have a gambler personality? And I talk about gambler personalities in a very broad sense here. I'm not talking about playing slot machines, I'm not talking about poker, I'm not talking about throwing your money away on like some kind of weird project. I'm talking about the gambling that we all do in all circumstances of life all the time. How do you deal with what you don't understand? What do you do about what you can't predict? You know, there are so many things out there that you can't predict, so many factors you can't understand, so many things you don't know. Will this job be better than that job? Will this education give me a better job than that education? Should I move to that city or to that city? There are so many situations where we take and make decisions without knowing or understanding the outcome. A lot of people talk about decision making purely from a decision of what rational decision making is. You know, do we base our decisions on logic or do we base it on emotion? But we also base a lot of decisions on intuition. Intuition can be just as powerful of a tool in decision making as having strong feelings about something or someone, or having strong logical ambitions, having strong structured goals, plans, and ambitions and skills that will drive you forward towards a goal. And the more you develop your intuition, the better you get at taking risks. And I want to talk about this because there are a lot of people out there that can't take risks. And you know, not being able to take risks, that can really keep you from growing yourself. You can spend years trying to build up a vision before you execute it. And a lot of people have this idea of intuition or being an intuitive as in being only in your head and not being able to make any decisions on it. I believe that's a false view. I believe healthy intuition is an imagination that drives you forward. It makes you take action, it makes you make decisions, it makes you put yourself out there. The stronger your intuition and the more you're able to put faith in it, the more risks you will be taking, and you will be doing things that other people around you wouldn't dare to do, wouldn't dare to dream of. And you know, there are some things that you do in your life, some things that you are doing on a daily basis that other people would never dare to do. That's important to consider. You know, we think of being brave as something so stereotypical. You know, you think of Divergent, the movie Divergent. You think about people jumping from trains, you think about mountain climbers, you think about skydivers, you think about all the stereotypical ideas of bravery. But bravery is also manifested in life decisions, life choices for yourself. Are you able to get out of your comfort zone, to go into a job, to move to another country, to be with somebody who lives far, far away from you? And I think that is just as honorable of bravery as going skydiving. Maybe I am a little bit too scared to go skydiving. I'm not sure, I haven't ever done it before. But at least I have been brave enough to go to another country, to live in another country, to go outside my comfort zone and to be with the one I love. And isn't that just as well bravery as anything else? And I have one advantage I come to realize in being a visionary. And yeah, I consider myself a visionary in one sense. I've always had strong visions, a strong imagination, a strong ability to dream, a strong ability to follow and to work towards a dream. I've been working towards dreams my entire life. And you know, I've always had one advantage in this. I can speculate. And somehow I can speculate so strongly that I actually believe that my vision will come to pass. It goes beyond just thinking it will come to pass or having a base or rough idea that it probably will work out. It comes down to sheer belief and sheer power of belief. I've had strong visions. I've been working hard on visions all my life, and that has given me confidence. Every day I've been able to predict things, and the more things I've been able to predict, the braver I've gotten. It's gotten to the point where I've been able to do more and more things, and to constantly increase the scope of my visions, to constantly push myself further, because every time I've done it, I've been rewarded. Yeah, I have been rewarded. And I think that's also it. You know, it's harder to take risks if you haven't gotten the confidence yet. And that's why you have to work about it. You have to think smart about it. You have to work from your level. If you are a person that considers yourself quite scared of going out into the dark, if you feel scared of taking on new projects and trying new things, what can you do to boost that? Well, you have to think about the daily things you do, you know. Think about, you know, getting from home to another city, you know. You don't have to think about going to another country. You don't have to jump yourself into taking on a completely new job. But think about the small things you could do right now that would push you out of your comfort zone into something you don't understand. And you have to think about and open yourself to the potential of minor inconveniences. The potential of minor inconveniences. What do I mean with this? Well, I mean, sometimes when we take risks, they don't pay off. Sometimes things don't always go the way we want them to. I'm talking here, you go out and you try to catch a train and the train doesn't go and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. And you think to yourself, I should have waited, I shouldn't have gone, oh, it was a stupid idea. But no, what you have to think about is, yes, there is a potential of minor inconveniences. And then you have to trust your intuition a second time. It's not enough to trust your intuition once, you have to trust your intuition a second time. If the train doesn't leave, trust your ability to come up with an alternative. Trust your ability to do something else. And that means being able to have a backup plan, being able to see how something could go, and if it goes a certain way, to plan ahead. I've been called sneaky in my life. Sneaky because when I go into a situation or when I'm preparing for an event, I'm able to take so many precautions without people noticing. Like I can install things in different places because I know if I am at that place, I'll want this. Like I can get myself set up and I can see like these small things I could do to make it better. I can have a base idea of if I go to that place and that doesn't work, then I could always use that instead. Like I always have backup plans. I always have alternatives. I always have ways I can get around it. And I have that, like, and that makes the worry so much less. I see a lot of people, they fall into worrying. Like, what if that, what if that, what if that, what if that? On an average scale, I only deal with one what if. And and that's perhaps because a symbol of how linear my brain is. Honestly, it's very linear. It's like, it goes from one vision to another to another. Like it's more like a rerouted train. Like it's a train that's going forward, full forward. But the question is, so do I have to take another stop at that track? Do I have to go another way there? Do I have to reroute the railroad somewhat? It's not, I don't see millions of options. I see one option and then I see how do I get there? And that's what makes it easier for me to stave off worries. The more options you see, the more worries you also see, because you don't only see the worry of not reaching your destination, but you also see the worry of not reaching the potential thousands of destinations you can also consider besides the one you're already traveling towards. So it's also a question of how many goals do you want to have? How many things do you want to work towards? How many roads do you want to walk on at the same time? And if you want to walk more roads, you also have to expect more worries. And there's really nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with worrying or with wanting to be safe or with wanting to take it easy or to be careful. There's nothing wrong with having fears. There's nothing wrong with being afraid, and there's nothing wrong with being safe. If you are happy where you are right now, in the relationships you are right now, with the job you have right now, and you don't want to do anything to risk that, then you shouldn't. Like, you have to think about risk taking from that perspective as well. Like, some people, they can gamble on everything. And the thing is, the more you have, the less you're willing to gamble. It's so much easier to gamble when you don't have anything. You know, it's the people that have a lot of things to protect that are the most afraid of gambling. And that fear of gambling is also what keeps them from success. If you take J.K. Rowling, she has kids, she has like money, she has things to save. And before Harry Potter, she had those things, and she only thought, what if I lose all these resources? What if I'm not able to deal with this? What if I'm not able to take care of my kids? And then she failed, and then she wasn't able to. And then she realized she would always find a way. It's like when you don't have anything, you realize that resources don't really matter. You don't have anything, so you don't have anything to lose, so you can go for what you want. But it's when you have a little and you're thinking, okay, I have 30% of what I want. That's when it's the most scary. It's that being at 0%, that makes it so much easier, because then you can just go for what you want 100%. But when you're at 30%, then you're thinking so much about how do I protect these 30% that you can never really grow yourself beyond it. So there's also the trap. You have to kind of work with closing doors, and I love the closed door mentality. I love the thought of letting go of one thing to get the chance to get somewhere else. I believe in letting go of what you don't need and actually thinking about, what do I want in my life? What do I need for myself? I think about, what value means and setting boundaries. Did you know that in economics, as soon as you set a boundary in anything, or as you set a limit on anything, it becomes more valuable. The more boundaries you put on it, the more valuable it becomes. The higher you set the price, the lower the amount of resources, the more taxes, like everything around it, it just builds up the value of it. It just makes it seem worth more. And that's why when you say to yourself, I don't want to date this person, I don't want that job, I don't want to be at this place, I don't want to live in a house like that. Setting boundaries sets value. It sets boundary, it sets some kind of framework for you to deal with. It gives you some kind of direction, it gives you something to manage. And here is where I say the people who don't set boundaries for themselves, they're everywhere, and they're also worried about everything. They're worried about losing not only what they have, but also what they could have, and also what they could get next. They're not committing to any one relationship because they're afraid of losing the potential for meeting the even better person. They're not them going for the job they want because they're afraid of losing the potential of going for other jobs. It's that ability to see hundreds of potential that can really be the biggest block in taking risks. You can't gamble on every single number on a game. You can't really gamble on everything. You have to actually commit to something. You actually have to go to something. That's what gambling is. That's how you have to understand it. Gambling has a few requirements. If you want to be a gambler, if you want to take risks, you have to be smart about it. You have to envision it. You have to see what you want. You have to know exactly what it is you want. And you have to realize this. A gambler is not a person that just could bet on any single number and wouldn't care less. A gambler has a lucky number, something they really want. They want not number 19, not number 89, they want number 53. And only 53, that's what they want to go for, that's what they want to bet on. It's a difference between just being a person that just throws out dice everywhere, that just bets on everyone and everything, and being a person that actually has an interest, actually has something they want, actually has something they need. So you have to learn for yourself what it is that you need, what it is that you want to bet on. And that's like, what one person is it that you want to go for? What house is it you want to live in? What job is it you want to ideally have? What is it you ideally want to do? And that's what you have to bet on, and that's what you have to push yourself towards. And you have to think about it like, ideally, if we were all robots, we should all be very pragmatic. We should only bet if we knew we would win. If the chance of winning was high enough for it to be worth gambling. We should only gamble if we have the resources to support it, But we are not pragmatic, and we're not robots. We are people, and we have personal needs, and we have things we want. And there is no use being pragmatic if you found the one relationship that you really want, the one house that you really want, the one job that you really want. There is no use being pragmatic in such a situation. If that is what you want, then that is what you have to gamble on. That is what you have to commit to. That's what you have to put yourself towards. What I'm saying here is, there is no point in thinking between being, should I be idealistic and go for what I want, or should I be pragmatic and go for what's safe? There is only an use in thinking, what do I want? What makes me happy? What would make me happy? And there is the only purpose is to go for what you want and what will make you happy. Everything else will lack purpose. Everything else will feel cold, dark, empty, and pointless. And what gives you the courage to take risks in daily life, to get on that bus and to hope that you'll find another bus at the other side, and to take the train to that place and then to get on that flight and to hope that you'll find a place to stay and that you'll be able to afford that and that you'll have enough money to make that cut. There is only the only risk taking that matters is the one that will take you where you need to go. The only risks that are worth taking are the ones that will give you your dream job, will give you the dream relationship, will give you the life that you want to live. It's only worth going on that train, jumping for that, going skydiving, if it will give you the life you want to live, if it will make you happy. And hopefully, knowing that that will make you happy, knowing that that is the only thing that's worthwhile, that will also give you courage, that will also allow you to take the jump, that will also allow you to take the leap. Because you realize not jumping, not going for it, not putting yourself out there, not going all in for that, it will make you feel empty. And there is nothing more scary, nothing more dark, nothing more horrible than emptiness, loss, losing out on that dream house, on that dream job, on that dream girl or boy. There's nothing that matters more, you know. So hopefully this video made you think about it, and if it did, feel free to share down below. What one risk that you took in your life did you never regret? Share with us a risk that you took in your life that made your life so much better. And hopefully that will encourage other people to go for what they want. And if you feel like we should all be braver, if we should all work harder, if we should all go for a little further, share this video with other people, like and subscribe for more videos. My next video will probably be on kindness. When should we be kind and when should we be selfish? So thank you all for being here and see you all in the next video.